Hello. I originally was looking at the oath of a commissioned officer and then also the oath of an enlisted. As a young man, I enlisted first in the Navy, and the oath of office of the Navy is that, where did it go? The Navy, this is on military.com, but the oath for enlistment is, I do solemnly swear or affirm I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, of the United States, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I made that little slip, United States of America, but it actually says the Constitution of the United States, as in U.S. That's very important. So remember that, U.S. And I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I'll bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same. I'll obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Now, when you're in the military as an officer, having been a point officer in the Army, Navy, whatever branch of the United States is indicated above in the grade of whatever the grade is, typically 01, or if you're at the end of your contract, 7-8 years, it would be whatever rank you would be there. Anyway, do solemnly swear or affirm I'll support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same, that I take the obligation freely without mental reservation, purpose of evasion. I will well and faithfully discharge duties of the office upon which I am about to enter, so help me God. What was also interesting was that there's a difference, of course, between the two oaths. And it came about in the My Lai massacre that it was not the first or last time it says the military force would be misused or corrupted. This type of power abuse is what the UCMJ and the oath of office were designed to prevent, and also what allowed the warrant officer Hugh Thompson to disobey a commander's orders during the My Lai massacre. It says here, both officers and enlisted members swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, but in the oath of enlistment, service members swear they'll obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over them according to regulations in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So officers do not include this in the oath of office. They will swear to support and defend the Constitution and will well and faithfully discharge the duties of their office. Now that's very important, because when we talk about office, we're going to, and we talk about the United States, it's again not the United States of America, but it's the United States, and it's the Constitution of the United States, not the Constitution for the United States of America. Those two are very key. As I'm going to move into the two United States constitutions. Now, our Constitution, our country, was hijacked in 1871 when it became a corporation. And you can see the difference in now it's the Constitution of the United States of America versus for the Constitution of the United States of America. And notice it's all capital letters. Now, what happened was, with the passage of the Act of 1871, a city-state, a state within a state called the District of Columbia, was formed in the heart of Washington state with its own flag and own independent constitution, the United States secret second constitution. So they hijacked the original constitution, just copied it word for word, but now it became a corporation underneath U.S. code. The United States here, this is an article by the Liberty Beacon. The United States became a foreign corporation in 1871. And it talks about the wording between the original Constitution drafted by the Founding Fathers read, the Constitution for the United States of America. Note that neither the words United nor States began with capital letters, but the Constitution of the United States of America as a corporate constitution was not absolutely not the same document we all think it is. And it ended all of our rights as a sovereign individual. And now we are all assets or citizens, if you will, of the corporation of the United States of America. So it says, as an instrument of the International Bankers of the United States, all caps, owns you from birth to death. It holds ownership of all your assets, property, and your children also. So think about all the taxes, fines, and licenses you paid for and purchased for, and then everything. So they reach deep into our pockets. It also talks about reading the 14th Amendment. And we're not a sovereign people anymore, really. It says, as a sovereign people, we have been deceived for hundreds of years. We think we're free, but in truth, we are servants of the corporation. So, we're not sovereign. Sovereign wouldn't put us as subjects of a corporation or servants of the corporation. So let's go into, this is from the Canadian press, or a Press Canadian. They even talk about, I mean, Canadians have no skin in the game. And it's neat to know that our neighbors to the north have actually done some research into our Constitution and the way our country was formed. So you're actually getting a viewpoint from another country, not someone inside the United States that has skin in the game. But the Canadians can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Objective or unattached to the outcome. Anyway, it talks about two constitutions in the United States. First was illegally suspended in favor of Vatican Crown Corporation in 1871. So on July 4, 1776, people claimed their independence from the crown, temporal authority of the Roman Catholic Pope. And it says democracy was born. No, it wasn't a democracy. We were formed as a republic. But after 95 years later, or after 95 years, with the Act of 1871 that Congress passed, it became the Constitution, well, the original Constitution for the United States of America in lowercase letters was changed to the Constitution of the United States of America, all in uppercase or capital locks or caps. So the passage of 1871, a state within a state called the District of Columbia, located in the heart of Washington, formed with its own flag and own independent constitution, the United States of America's secret second constitution. So let's talk about why it's a corporation, why the United States is a corporation. You look at 28 U.S. Code. Now, notice that's all capital letters for United States. Counsel for the United States means United States Attorney, private attorney, blah, blah, blah. Debt means an amount owing to the United States on account of a direct loan by the United States, which means also any amount owing the United States, such as the IRS, anything else that. It also talks about fees, duty, lease, rent, service, sale of real personal property, overpayment, all of these. Interest, tax, right? Bond forfeiture, reimbursement, recovery of a cost incurred by the United States, or other source of indebtedness to the United States. Remember, it's the United States as a corporation. And it gives you all this neat information. But anyway, come down to 15. United States, what does that mean? In parentheses, United States means it's a federal corporation. Voila. Now, if you look at the oath of the commissioned officer, you look at Title V, U.S. Code, that means I took an oath to the United States corporation. I did not take an oath to the original Constitution that was formed in 1776 by our founding fathers. Now let's look at U.S. Code 3331, Oath of Office. It talks about an individual except the president elected or appointed to an office of honor or profit in civil service or uniformed services shall take the following oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same, that I take the obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. I will faithfully discharge duties of the office on which I am about to enter. And this section does not affect other oaths required by law. Anyhow, some thoughts about the oath of office and whether, well, I mean, since 1871, anytime anybody's taken an oath of office to serve in the United States military, it's been for the United States of America, a corporation, to support and defend the corporation that has a constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's disheartening. It's one step further from being a servant to the corporation of the United States of America. Anyway, some thoughts. Please feel free to post your comments at the end of this video, and I will have more content following.